Well, hello, church family. It's been a while since we brought you an update on the Pastoral Transition Team. We have started a really interesting process we want to share with you today. But we've been in this process since early 2021 when we announced that I was going to be retiring and stepping away, and the transition team came together at that point. We have been researching, doing a lot of background. We have a lot of documentation about the history of the church and the church profile and the community profile, a lot of different kinds of things that we needed for groundwork. But we're getting ready now to transition into a very exciting new phase when we're actually going to be talking more directly about the succession piece. And today we're going to be introducing a new friend to you. His name is Matt Wright. Matt is representing the SlingShot Group. And the SlingShot Group is going to be walking with us through the succession process and helping us try to do this as well as possible. This is a very, very challenging time, a very challenging process for every church, and certainly we're no different, but these are wonderful guys that we're going to be working with and wanted you to meet them today. So let me introduce you to Matt Wright, and Matt is here today. And Matt, you're going to be working with us over the next few months in this process. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what SlingShot is, who they are, who you guys are, and the kind of things you do.
Oh yeah, thank you. And thank you so much, Pastor Tim. I appreciate the introduction. I appreciate the invitation to get to know the church family just a little bit. And I gotta say, I love what we get to do at SlingShot. I love what we get to do. My passion and our passion is to see healthy churches and healthy organizations. And it seems like God tends to use healthy teams to build healthy churches. And healthy individuals make healthy teams, which make healthy churches. And so what we get to do is walk alongside leaders like you, leaders like your Pastoral Transition Team, and help them just be healthy. And these processes can be tough. It can be hard. And so if we can kind of be a bit of a guide, a bit of a friend in the process to make this process better, then that's just something that's a joy. SlingShot is national. We've got about 60 of us all across the nation, and we work with churches, all different kinds of churches, all different sizes.
Got to meet your president a while back.
Tim Foote.
Tim is a wonderful guy.
I agree. I agree. He's great.
So you used to be in local church work.
Yep.
How did you get from there to what you do with SlingShot?
Yeah, it's a good question. So yes, I did used to be in local church work. I actually grew up in the Baptist church. You and I were talking about that earlier. I'm an ordained Baptist pastor. Started off in the corporate world, then served in a local First Baptist church for a number of years before moving up to Chicago in 2007 and serving a church up there for a lot of years. And I reached a point in my ministry where, just to be blunt, I was burned out. And it was time for me to step away. And as I stepped away, sought God, what might be next for our season. And God just pointed to this again and again. Come alongside the local church, come alongside leaders, love them well, help shepherd them through what might be a tough process. And so that's my background. That's why I love what we get to do, because it has massive kingdom impact.
So I know that transition is probably as much art as it is science.
Yeah, sure.
There's not a clear formula for every church and one size fits all. So I know you tailor what you do to the specific church you're working with. And I know that you'll be working well with us as we walk through this time. It's, again, the first time our church family has ever gone through this kind of experience, and so we're all a little anxious about it as we want to do well, but we're also a very, very prayerful congregation, and we love to pray. We love to just see what God does in different kinds of situations. So we will assure you we'll be praying much for you as we walk in this time together, and as I know you will for us. And folks, God is at work. We're seeing God working in some really, really special ways, and we're glad to be in this time. God called us to this season. And I think God's going to be glorified through it as we walk with SlingShot. And just wanted you to get a chance to meet Matt, and you'll be hearing more about our process as we go along. God bless you. Love you. We'll talk to you soon.